There were gentlemen who did not want to teach me because they thought I was coming for their job. It was that mindset that motivated me and drove me to a different level. Being that I got these books and I'm working for an organization, so I'm going to study and show my own self-approved. I'm going to take every bit of knowledge that I can get to help benefit myself. So when I work with my counterparts, being that they were not the same color as me, it surprised some of them at the fact that I'm not a follower. I'm going to lead this pack and I'm going to lead it from the front. So I'm going to take the knowledge and the know-how, what I've got, and I'm going to utilize this talent. And God gives us all talents at the end of the day. It's all about how we utilize those talents. So I focused in on what I knew best. I love learning, I love working with my hands, and I love critical thinking. At that time, I'd gotten a layoff. Things were a little slower. Economy was a little tough, 2007, 2008. I didn't waste any time. I just jumped out and started working. Actually purchased my first van in 2012. I hired my first employee 2014. 2018 is when I decided to level up a little bit and expand. I went from one employee to about 3 employees at that time. So from 2018 up until 2021, I was in a little bit of a growth phase. That growth phase came with taking and doing a job for my church. My church is actually Bethel AME Church right over in Hampton. And that kind of propelled me into kind of doing a rebrand. After I was able to do a rebrand, I actually added about 4 additional vehicles at that time. That would have been 2021, 2022. And things just kind of take it off from there. It started moving and started growing a little bit. Everybody thinks it's easy, but you have to have a real game plan when you start scaling up and trying to grow. It takes discipline, takes money. You have to have all of the pillars of business kind of on your side to understand what it is that you've got to do. Some days it's almost a day you feel like they're throwing it in the hat and saying, this is tough. My biggest vision was to be able to grow a company from just myself and then turn around and be the best impact that I can be on my workforce. Being that I'm training and developing the next generation of tradesmen and women. Still looking to get my first female technician, but that will come with time. But also really look at growing a technician from someone who doesn't know anything into developing that person to be a licensed technician. That's where the professionalism comes in. Someone on my team that surprised me, he and his wife just got deployed or actually got moved to Colorado. His name was Kobe, matter of fact. Kobe came to me as a duct cleaner. I mean, he was a guy who just had the talents of duct cleaning. He approached me and asked me about being a potential sales comfort advisor. So I sent him off to school for a couple classes and some additional training. The gentleman came back in the first week out of his training. He came and he sold like a $30,000 job, and that was a surprise. And to see him grow from being that sales guy to being a pretty good salesman was awesome, because he came in just doing physical work, but then asked for an opportunity to grow a little bit, and he really grew in that, and he was able to help produce sales for the organization that were substantial. This industry is very tough, And that shoulder season of the year is the most difficult time for HVAC. It's not easy for me to pick up and just go to the bank and say, hey, can I get a $150,000 line of credit? Can I get a bridge loan to actually help me navigate the tough times? It's just not that easy. You would think that it is, being that you do have a viable business, but then banks look at a lot of different stipulations when it comes to that. So that has caused some pain all in itself, is trying to navigate, navigate financing. Even when you do have decent revenue coming in, it goes pretty fast. So, you hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, man, your prices are high this, or your prices are high that. Well, I've got a workforce that I got to take care of. At the end of the day, my employees are my first customer for me. I guess it's almost like father, like son. I watched my dad serve for 38, maybe 39 for my dad in the ministry. I can't be the business by myself. As a ordained minister, it's all about building a team. I tell my employees, you don't have to call me boss, just call me coach. And as you call me coach, I mean, I'm trying to coach you to be the best version of your own self. That's what I'm looking at, is trying to get you to be the best that you could possibly be. Because if I can take care of you and you take care of me, then we can take care of our customers. And I like to try to give customers 5-star service every day that we step out of this office. Jesus Christ was a tradesman, so not only could he build things, but he could build people. And that's kind of my motto, is, building things and helping build people. One of the things in this industry to understand is, for a long time, we were just called, a lot of people look at us and call us jacklegs in comparison to our counterparts. To understand why they would do that or why they would say that, they just think that we may not understand what we're doing fully. I'm passionate about changing that persona, that perception. Some people are mechanics, some people are technicians. To be a technician in the trades means that you can go anywhere, fix anything. That's the attitude that I carry. I can go anywhere, any place, and fix anything, just because I've got a set of skills that allows me to do that. We bring life to every building, every home. We bring life. Without our trades, you would not live comfortably. You just would not live comfortably at all. No lights, that's electricity. No water, that's plumbing. No HVAC, that's comfort. Brick masons, all the trades. We bring things to life. We birth things. So that is one of the ways that I train my guys as well. Hey, every home that we pass by that we've taken care of, if we put a new system in or install a new system, the most important day in the life of a system is the day that it's born. I mean, we get the equipment from the manufacturer, we come to a home, we install that. As long as it's installed properly, within code, that system would be there for the next 15, 20 years, if not longer. Most professionals, depending on what it is that you do, you've gone to school, you've gotten an education, and you're out working, hopefully maybe in your field. But as you're working in your field, you want to master that. Everybody doesn't always show up to work wanting to give 100%. That is the odd part. The very odd part is people not giving 100% at what they do. And to try to bring that out of someone is tough, especially for me as a business owner, that I'm in a market where profitability matters. If I'm not profitable, I might as well have done a job for free. How many people leave work, go home, and study their craft? What we do is it's a craft, it's art. What we do, it's just not a job. It's an overall career. To be in the trades industry is to be uncomfortable most times. As I say, 85, 90% of the time, I'm going to be uncomfortable trying to make you comfortable or make the customer comfortable. That's the livelihood of every day, is trying to get a customer to be comfortable. So there's hot attics, there's nasty crawl spaces, there's long days, there's all of that comes along with this profession. But to say that you could eat for a lifetime, that you will never be without a job, is a plus. I mean, that's the difference between having a job and a career. A couple weeks ago, Hampton University reached out to me, said that my name came up from someone in a conversation in regards to being a adjunct professor over at HU to teach HVAC. And I took that as an opportunity to say yes, because I am passionate about helping to build the trades. That's it, helping to build the trades and actually helping to have more of us into the trades, so that we don't take that cliche name of just being a jackleg. You know, I've got my credentials. I've had my professional license almost just about 30 years now. Almost about 30 years I've had my professional license. And that professional license being a journeyman and then being a master at what you're doing is learning the codes, learning what you can do, what you can't do, and then being able to go out and apply that. The application of that and understanding what you're doing is the most critical piece. A lot of people just go out, replace parts and components, but you know, being that technician and being able to go out and literally diagnose things, or utilizing the critical thinking skills. My operations manager helps me do my interviews, but I'm looking for hungry, humble, and smart individuals. As long as I get that hungry, humble, and smart individual, and you have a coachable mind or a coachable mindset, that's the kind of talent that I'm looking for. I'm not asking you to come to me and be the LeBron James of HVAC. I'm looking at you as coming in and being you, being coachable. Listen to the coach. Let me give you a process. Follow the process. Let me teach you the process so that now you can be successful. Because if I'm a good teacher and I teach you, then that means that you can teach somebody else. And I feel that having a teaching opportunity currently right now gives me an opportunity to put my fingerprint onto an individual to help them to understand what this industry is all about. Because I truly feel that if I can teach you process of troubleshooting electrical and mechanical components, you can utilize that training in any aspect of your life. Whether your car stops working, whether something around the house stops working, or whatever it may be. But it gives you a different thought process that you can go out and physically take on a challenge. Because life is a challenge. Life is absolutely a challenge, and how you face life really does matter. Trying to find that has been tough. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, people come along every day, but everybody doesn't have that mindset of winning. If you want to win, you still first got to be coachable. I can teach the attitude of winning, but then you have to want to win for yourself. You know, so you got to have something that motivates you. So that's one of those things that I feel I do bring to the trades, is that even in my teaching over at Hampton University, I still ask the gentlemen in the class, understand your why. Understand why you're doing this. I mean, that's how much of an impact you could actually really truly be. What happens when you or someone else come in contact with me, and now I'm showing you and I'm teaching you, and I'm not afraid that you're coming behind me to kind of take my job. If you want to come take my job, come on. I'll tell you, to sit here in the seat as a CEO and as a business owner, you accumulate and you take on everything that comes along with that. Everybody ain't ready for that. Everybody is not ready for that at all. There's a lot of responsibility that comes along, and a lot of people don't want to own those mistakes. A lot of people do not want to own their mistakes at all. They'd rather run from the responsibility. So That's another thing that I'm passionate about is if I could teach other entrepreneurs how to run a heat and air conditioning company, I will. I don't care. I mean, when it's feast of famine, there's not enough of us to go around. I mean, some days it still scares me when I turn around and look and I've got, you know, 14 families that I provide for. I mean, still scares the heck out of me some days. I'm just like, payroll's due on Friday. Where's it coming from? You know, that's realness. Everybody gets paid every week. So Fridays come along really fast to me. Is it Friday? Oh man, it's Friday again. Oh, I gotta pay everybody again. You know, and I mean, just like you get paid on Friday, 6 days later, I got to be prepared to do this again. So that takes passion, that takes motivation, it takes drive. You know, so the more impact, the more training that I can do, the better teacher that I can be. Hopefully, the less work that I'll end up having to do. But I don't consider it work. I just consider it passion and loving about exactly what I do. There was that conception that if I show you how to do this job, that you're going to come and take my job. I don't know where that ever came from. I just don't. I mean, that mindset was a mindset of just a scarcity mindset, if I had to say. That you don't want to teach somebody else how to do something because you're afraid that you're going to be at a loss. But I keep going back to Christ. Christ says that there's always enough room at the foot of the cross for all of us. And we'll never be without a job.